Hey, and we're live. My apologies. I know I said 12 noon. Mark Gassard here. Mark's message. It's Thursday, July 16th. And I'm hailing from Peachtree Corners, Georgia. For anybody that's a first timer out there, the peachiest place on the planet. I'm going to give my shout outs today to Grow Live Nation, emerging sales winners, try and talk. 2020, Seller Die Hard. And excuse me for being late, but I had to take a phone call. It was business. My apologies, but I'm keeping my word. I'm still here. I'm trying to stay on task. And with all that, today we're going to talk about um, what you're grateful for, gratitude. We're going to kind of slow this thing down and from that perspective and, talk about being grateful. I think a lot of times in this world of hustle and bustle, it's very competitive, even today, and particularly what's going on today. Some people you can't even kid around with right now. Everybody's so sensitive. Some, not all. Always try and keep a good sense of humor, keep things in order, keep things in perspective. It could always be worse, but what are some of the things, if anybody's out there, that you're grateful for? You know, Feel free to hop on board. If you're grateful for your health, your family, your friends, the opportunity to work, hit a one. And, if there's something else out there, hit a two and mention what it is that you're really grateful for. Uh, like I said, my father always told me a long time ago, if you have your health, you're a millionaire and you have everything, because that will enable you to have opportunities. And those are all things to think about in regards to what are you grateful for? One thing I'm going to share here today, and this gentleman, if you don't know who he is, he put something out on Facebook, and I know him. We've communicated, we've talked. Uh, Eventually, I know we're going to do one of these Grow Live interviews, but he's become a virtual good friend. I feel like I've known this guy all my life, but he said, once you realize you deserve better, letting go will be the best decision ever. And let me hit you with that one again. Once you realize you deserve better, letting go will be the best decision ever. And you're going to have to excuse me, I may have left out a word here, but I'm talking about Christopher Rosh, the man with the headband, the guy that has a brand. When you see him, you'll know him. I teased Chris one time and I simply said, some people may look at you and be as intimidated as hell, like, whoa, is this a biker or what's the deal? He's a great man, great guy. He takes walks in the mornings with his dog and he pontificates the finer points of life within his kick ass nation. Uh, and he offers a lot of wisdom. So go check him out on Facebook. Again, that was Christopher Rausch. I hope I said that last name correctly, Chris. Don't hate me. Rausch. But if you Google, if you Facebook, you will find him. So let's get into it. Gratitude. What does it mean? Okay. So gratitude comes from the Latin word gratis, pleasing, thankful, a feeling of appreciation, a state of being grateful. So, again, I'm challenging you. If anybody wants to climb on board, share with me what you are grateful for or thankful for. For me, I can tell you that I'm thankful for my family. Most important of all, my health, because you got to take care of you. But I am. I'm thankful I have a family. I'm thankful my family is healthy. Okay. I'm thankful that my two sons are doing what they want to do. I'm thankful that I have a great wife, very supportive. You can't put a price tag on those things. I know day in, day out, I'm mandated to make calls, talk to people, CEOs, CFOs, director of sales, director of operations, sales managers, national sales managers, and talk to them about sales training. And I shared with you my quote and my vehicle, my automobile, like about winning. We got into that the other day. But when you look at the word grateful or gratitude, I'm going to share something else with you. And I always like to figure out where these words come from. Now, we said the Latin word gratis, but a lot of people don't know this, but in Judaism, gratitude is an essential part of the act of worship and part of every aspect of the worshipper's, life. In Judaism, gratitude is an essential part of the act of worship and part of every aspect of worshipper's life. That is pretty profound. And I'm always appreciative of Judaism, being how that's where Christianity evolved from. You know, if you check out your history, I won't get into all that, but from a different perspective, and it's similar. So here we look at the Christian or Christianity conceptions are that gratitude's been said to mold and shape the entire Christian life. I'm not going to get into religion and all that, but a Catholic monk at the time who later on broke away from the Catholic faith, Martin Luther, referred to gratitude as the basic Christian attitude. So what we're talking about, gratitude, attitude, it all kind of sums up. And I just wanted to point that out and give a little history lesson on that word, where it comes from, and how different, religions look at it. Here we are, Mark's Message. I'm talking about this stuff, and you're probably like, hey, talk to me about some business things. Well, these are just as important because let's face it, we all deal with people. Okay. So you got to learn how to communicate, and people come from all walks of life, different shapes, sizes, ethnicities. We could go on and on and on, but we're all basically the same. We all want good health. You know, um, I kiddingly say fame or fortune, friendships. For me, I can tell you that the Grow Live Nation is something I cherish. There's a lot of very unique individuals out there. Ken Walls to me is a mentor on a virtual level. I've never met him face to face. Probably will one day. Emerging sales winners, Jeffrey Gitomer and his tribe. All the people that are in there. I learned so much. And, I'll share you a story. 11 years ago, I've mentioned this when I was struggling and had to knock on door to door to door. If it hadn't have been for Jeffrey Gitomer and his books and his YouTube isms and everything else out there about 11 years ago, he didn't have Grow Live then, but I don't know if I would have made it because it helped me and propelled me to get through the worst of times. I knew it wasn't going to last forever, but it was not a pleasure cruise. So, I just wanted to share that from my perspective, what's going on out there. And this is what I was talking about. I know everybody teases me about this. Winning is my assembly line. Helping people grow and develop is my automobile. Winning is my assembly line. Helping people grow and develop is my automobile. So that's kind of what I crafted for myself. And I just wanted to share, what we're talking about in terms of gratitude, what you're grateful for. And it's at that point of the time where, guess what? It's quote time. So, with all that, before I get to that, I do have to share this. There was a gentleman by the name of Jacob William Gassert, who was a breaker boy. And this would have been around the 19th century. He later became a coal miner. And if you don't know what a breaker boy is, they pick slate out of coal. I'm going to show you a picture here of what he did. Now, That gentleman has my same last name because it's important to know where you come from and to be grateful. And I am grateful I didn't have to do what young Jacob had to do at the age of 10. His father was killed in a mining accident. He grew up around Pottsville. Because of that, they picked up his dad, put him on the porch, and said, "Here he is." The next thing you know, because it was a company home, somebody in that house had to work in the mine. So they looked at him and pointed and said, "Breadwinner, breaker boy." So by doing that, he enabled his mom, who later on remarried, and he had, I believe, two stepsisters, but they were able to keep the house. The company let them stay there, you know, because the company owned everything, the store, everything. But I'm going to try and share this picture. Excuse me, but it's framed in glass, so you might get a reflection. But I want you to see, if you can see this, what a breaker boy does. You can see these young lads, as I call them, sitting there in these coal chutes. They're picking out slate and foreign objects out of the coal. You'll notice the older boy there, he graduated, right? Has a stick in his hand. Gee, I wonder what that's for. However, as they picked out this slate, as you saw that picture, from the coal, their hands would get cut, get raw. What they would do, and I've heard this story, I was very young, but my grandfather said they would urinate on their hands to toughen them. Now, obviously, this is a long time ago, because coal mining in the US and the United Kingdom, they use breaker boys, and sometimes elderly miners became breaker boys because of their age and or disease. So I'm thankful that I didn't have to do what he did, because he did not have a childhood. As I like to say, his childhood at the age of 10 was raped. He stopped going to school. He could barely read, write. I mean, he self-taught himself. My dad used to tell me at the table, my father came from a family of 9, that he would mouth words as he was reading the newspaper. That's how he educated himself. And one thing about my grandfather, he was very big on education, because he understood, because he had the lack thereof and the knowledge and the tools. There's no telling what if you brought somebody like that back today to see what's going on in our world, how far we'd advance. I mean, he'd tip his hat. I mean, looking at, like, whether you want to do something, from a technological aspect, business, how things are done on a virtual level, it would be mind-boggling to them, because the era of radio to TV and then technology is just incredible. So just wanted to share that with you. I'm pretty much done. If there's anybody out there, you want to throw your comments, actually, on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know what you think. Let me know what you are grateful for. I'd like to know. So with that, I'm going to back it on down here, because I have to go take care of my business. But as always, 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 on Mark's message, as I say, from Peachtree Corners, the peachiest place on the planet, be a leader, be a friend. Most important of all, ladies and gentlemen, be of service. And I'm wishing you this Thursday a very healthy and successful day. And in baseball terms, remember, keep swinging for the fences, and let's knock it out of the park. I will see you tomorrow, and I promise you I'll be on time. 12 noon, Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun. Until tomorrow.